All right, welcome Monday morning. Doing something a little different for our joke, our verse, and our quote of the day. With us, we have a friend of mine, Michael Kaltenmark. How are you, Michael?
Great. How are you?
Good. Okay, so we all have kind of been affected by this, and so I think I wanted to do something a little bit different today, where I wanted to kind of get an outside voice talking about everything that's happened. So, I guess first of all, what's your 2020 been like?
It's been a roller coaster ride. You know, it started out pretty well. I thought 2020 is going to be our year because, frankly, 2019 wasn't so great. And so I was really looking forward to this year, mostly because on the 9th day of the year, I got a new kidney from my brother. So I underwent a kidney transplant. It's a big deal. Felt great right away. Turns out the next day, January 10th, was my 40th birthday. So woke up in the hospital, brand new kidney, feeling better than I'd felt in a long time, and just ready to get back at it. And so spent my time recovering, trying to get better. Meanwhile, I have a famous dog, Butler Blue the Third, the Butler Bulldog, and I was chomping at the bit to get back to work for his sake because it was his last basketball season. So I snuck out of the house every now and again to take him to a basketball game and be seen, and it just felt so good. And I'm like, this, we're doing this, 2020, and
And you're pumped. You're getting pumped up for like the Big East tournament,
yeah,
the NCAA tournament.
that's exactly right. So like, I returned to work. This is like 2 weeks ago. I returned to work. I'm finally back in the office, and it's all coming together. We're starting to make our Big East travel plans, getting ready to go to New York, and then figure out where we were going to go for the NCAA tournament, and then this virus starts happening. And I took caution early because I just got a new kidney, and I have to take immunosuppressant drugs every day so that my body doesn't reject that new kidney. And that puts me at a much higher risk to get coronavirus. And if I did get it, then a much higher risk to have it put me in the grave. And so we don't want that. And so I made the call early to stay home, not go to New York, not take the dog, which was heartbreaking. But then I thought, maybe we can go to somewhere else for the Big East tournament or for the NCAA tournament, because maybe somewhere else won't be a hot spot like New York. Well, we all know what happened. It started to spiral out of control. And this is like day whatever at home with the dog and the fam and trying to avoid people and the coronavirus. And so I feel like over the last 2 weeks, 2020 has just spiraled out of control and into the ground, right? And I'm sure everybody's feeling that way. But I really try to take stock into what I have and just to be grateful for what I have. I do have my family. I do have my health. I have food to eat, a roof over my head. And frankly, things could be a lot worse. And so each day when I get freaked out, when I read the news or I hear about coronavirus spreading and how long we're going to be stuck inside, I try to take a moment and think about all that God has blessed me with and really just do a mental checklist about what I have and what's available to me that's making my life okay in a not okay situation. And that really works to level set my head. And I think everybody's capable of that right now. Yes, we're all in this together. Yes, this really sucks. Like, it's not fun. But I think we all have the ability to take a step back and say, okay, well, what's my situation in all this? Is it that dire? And if it is, don't be afraid to ask for help. But if it isn't, take stock in that. Be grateful for that. Build yourself up. There's going to be a lot of self pumping up over these next few weeks. And you're going to be either your biggest cheerleader or your biggest enemy. And I think that's your choice. And I think you got to get yourself up out of bed every day and be your biggest cheerleader. And then I think do that for others. We have a saying, at least Team 122, this year's current men's basketball team at Butler, has a saying to get them through the season, and that was to be tougher longer. And I think we all need to adopt that right now, because part of it is we're going to have to out-tough coronavirus. Now, you can't do that in the traditional sense, right? You can't just be like, well, I'm going to go outside and I'm not going to get exposed. That's not how this works. Like, if you go outside and you mix with people, you're going to get exposed. I think you have to be mentally tougher longer. You can be like, I'm going to stay inside. this is going to hurt. I'm not going to enjoy this, but I'm going to stay inside. I'm not going to put myself at risk. And that doesn't sound fun, but I've got to be tough about this. I've got to be mentally tough. And so I think we're going to have to be tougher longer. The other thing is, this thing is going to beat us down in ways that we probably haven't been beaten down before, especially psychologically. And I really would encourage you to ask for help, to seek help if you need it. Don't just let it build on the inside. If you're the type of person where you know this is going to beat you down, one of the strongest things you can do is to put your hand up and ask for help, whether that's Mr. Powers, a friend, a parent, whomever. Just ask, because there's a lot of people who would love to help you. And so for you other folks who maybe are like me, a little bit more optimistic, even in a global pandemic, you can find a reason to smile. I think it's our responsibility to go help others in ways that we can. And sometimes that's just picking up the phone and having a conversation with them, or being willing to make time to FaceTime with people. And other times it may be, I've got a strong immune system and I can go help my grandparents by delivering them groceries. I don't want to get them out into the world right now, but I'm okay. So I'm going to go do this on their behalf. Whatever it is, I think if you're a little bit more optimistic and this one's not going to get you down, build yourself up by helping others. And if you're on the other side, this thing's going to wear on you. It's going to grind on your soul, on your mental fortitude. That's okay. Be willing to ask for help. So I think there's two sides of the coin here, and you may ebb and flow. You may cross on one side or the other. It's just going to be part of it. But I think you have to remind yourself we're all in this together, right? And this pandemic is not unique to you. It's not unique to me. We're all here together. And I really believe we're going to get through it together, and we're going to get out on the other side. And, I believe in a higher power, and I believe God's going to reveal some pretty amazing things to us on the other side. Mm-hmm. And I get chills when I tell you that, because I get excited. Mr. Powers and I believe that this is when God does his best work. And so I'm excited about what's on the other side, but I'm praying my little heart out right now to get us there. And so I'll be praying for all of you as well. This is just weird, right? Like, you're supposed to be at school right now and just being a normal student and a kid and doing all the things that you normally do. And we're not able to do that. And so that's not lost on me. And so I'll be praying for you guys, just like I pray for my own kids, that life gets back to normal and you guys can get back to doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? So thanks for the time. I really appreciate it. Hope this helped.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. And we appreciate it. And you enjoy, it looks like you're in a closet. I
feel like I'm in my kids' like Lego room. So I'm surrounded by lots of Legos. I don't know if you can see all this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lots of Legos. I also have Mr. Powers, I have a special guest that I'd like to share with everybody. Come here, Trip.
Oh, the myth,
there he is.
The man, the myth, the legend.
There he is, Butler Blue III. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who is not happy about being stuck inside. He loves to work, and he had to give up the NCAA tournament for this coronavirus. So this is the face you make when you don't get to go to the NCAA tournament.
That is for sure. Hey, thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, and
of course,
we'll just keep fighting this. So
that's right. Stay strong. Stay safe.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, go Dogs.